club face do? Can you see the club face? Still square, so where's the ball gonna go?
Straight.
Pretty straight. Now, are they leg players? Have the hips turned
Leg
pretty good? Yeah, so that means it's gonna go, that means it's gonna go long and straight. Yeah, that means that if they're leg players, that means it's gonna go long and straight, okay? Now, hang on a minute. There's something I'm gonna show you right now. Please don't worry about doing it at this moment, but I wanna show you something so that I'm gonna debunk all these golf experts. You with me?
Yep.
Because if the golf instruction is not what's in these pictures, the instruction is wrong, not these golfers. You with me? Just, it's a little more visible with this guy that's in color, not the black and white picture, because the guy that's in black and white was Trevino, and he's not very tall. So what I'm about to show you is more visible when somebody's taller, even though they're identical here. Now just notice that the entire upper body is behind the ball. You see it? Do you notice that the entire upper body is still back on the right side? Can you see it? The upper body's not over on the left side. So when you get all this crazy golf instruction telling us to get over to the left side right away, that's wrong. It's only the lower body that's going over there. The whole upper body must stay behind the ball for as long as possible. You with me?
Yep.
This is what the angle looks like before we hit the ball. Now look at the angle in the right wrist. It's cocked back, it's not broken. You see how the right wrist is cocked back? That's the angle that holds the club face straight. Now when I see you again and I video your swing, you're gonna see none of you do this. Not on purpose. How many golf gadgets and contraptions have ever been invented to get us to improve? Can you hold him? How many golf gadgets have ever been invented to make us get better? Why did they make golf gadgets for golfers? What's the reason?
Money.
Well, buy them. You know why golfers love golf gadgets? First, the message is, I can improve my game and I want to. That's the Lord of the Fish. Now here comes the hook. I don't have to do, I don't have to do anything. The only requirement on me is money, and I got that covered. And then nothing of myself. Oh, come on. You know, it was back in the early 90s, Greg Norman was the best player in the world, remember him? And he got on television, he had a TV show, and he had this gadget called The Secret. Anybody remember that thing? It went on your arm and it cocked your wrist back, just like that picture.
Kept it one way.
Yeah, he should, do you got one?
No.
Oh, it's in the garage. No, he sold a zillion of them. But the thing was, he showed everybody, if you put this thing on your arm and it'll cock your wrist back and you'll be fine. Because that's what all good players do, and all the not so good players, their wrists are all twisted and broken and the club face is never straight and all this stuff. So the idea was you fool around and you'll be fine. But then when everybody went and played golf and they took the gadget off, and they weren't in the posture just like Greg Norman, which is required, they weren't a leg player like Greg, they didn't ride in the arms when first crashed with the ankle broke. And after 2 years of selling that crazy thing on TV, what do you suppose Greg Norman was stuck with after 2 years? A bundle of money. Does anybody know what he did with the money?
No.
He kept it. I didn't find it unusual he kept all that money. What was unusual was all the golfers that had that crazy thing. Nobody was angry. There was no class action attorney. We don't mind it doesn't work. Just make us something else. And we don't care what it is, as long as we don't have to do anything. I did not find it unusual he kept the money. You know the lady I gave $200 for the golf lesson, guess what? She kept the money. Do you know your $14 coming in here today, guess what? I'm gonna keep it. I asked if you'd help a little, not a lot, a little. I know it cost you $14 to come here tonight, and thank you so much for being here. But guess what it cost me to come tonight? You know the invitations I sent out? The Boston Herald and the Globe? And then this place? For me to do this class, this one, runs me right about $750. So, it helps when I'm full. That's okay, I just won't eat this week. Don't let that bother you. Now, I'm gonna put this to bed right now, just in case. Has anybody ever heard of a fella named Callaway? He's my hero. I didn't know him personally. Marvelous man, marvelous story. I want to try to emulate him, not because I care about, they make nice golf equipment. I make nice golf instruction. But it was him. Does anybody know how old he was when he started Callaway Golf? 70.
Really?
70 years old, he started Callaway. That's right. He was in the wine business, squishing grapes in Temecula, California. And he looked across, he was getting ready to retire, pack it in, and he looked across America and he asked, hey, they're building a lot of new golf courses. What's the deal with golf? Oh, 20 million people play golf. It's going to go up to 50. He said 50 million people are going to play golf. So that means right now 30 million people have no golf club. Then he asked, how many clubs can they shove in one of those bags they lug around? There's 20 million are playing now, a lot of them are men, yes. And he wanted to know, he said, I want to know about the male golfer and the male ego. Which club do the men struggle with the most, he wondered? They buy a new one every 3 years. It's not the putter, it's the big kahuna. Mr. Callaway responded, oh really? Put the grapes away. Here comes the Big Bertha, and he sold a zillion of them. Could have retired just from that one. Then the Warbird, then the Big Bertha, Great Big Bertha, Biggest Big Bertha, then the Great Big Bertha, then the Titanium, whoa. And then, you know, right after, immediately following 9/11, you know, all the big golf companies hit the skids for 6 months following 9/11, because thankfully we weren't too worried about golf after that for a while. That's good. And everybody at Callaway was panicked. Nobody's buying our clubs anymore. We're going to lose our jobs. 6 months after 9/11, and Mr. Callaway, as cool as always, this is before he died, he said, look, don't panic, you're not going to lose your job. I got an idea. What are we going to do? He said, well, what do we always do? We make another driver. No one's buying the ones we got now. He said, I know, don't worry, we'll cut the price in half. We'll get rid of those. But we're going to make a driver now. First, we're going to change the name of this one. It'll be a big hit. We're gonna call it the Callaway ERC. It was 3 letters, Echo, Romeo, Charlie. Anybody remember that one? And the Callaway ERC will be illegal. That'll help us. An illegal driver, Mr. Callaway, you need to retire. Don't you understand golf's a game of integrity? Who would ever purchase an illegal driver? So there's 50 million golfers can't hit the 6 legal ones I sold them. They might try one. And then he asked, if we make a driver that is illegal, and it doesn't cost us a nickel more for the head and the shaft, the ferrule, the grip, put it in the box and get it to us, and we get Arnold Palmer behind it too, could we double the price? And he was right again. They got $600 a piece for those things, couldn't keep it in stock. Do you know why? It's illegal. Here's what pushed him to the top of the mountain, but he knew what to do with it. Millions of people running around with an idea. I know there's a problem. It isn't me. See, when we hit a good shot or a bad shot on any shot on every shot, our own mind has to always come up with, why did the ball do this? You with me? Yeah. We always have to grade our own quizzes. Why did the ball do this? Now, sorry to pick on you fellas, because what I'm about to show you, I have never seen a woman do in my life, ever, only men. A male golfer has just hit 6 bad shots in a row. And when a male golfer has hit 6 bad shots in a row, we all of a sudden start to notice an unusual behavior begin to occur. I don't know about these. They don't seem to be working quite right. Callaway, they got him too.
I know you noticed that.
Go ahead and have a seat, everybody. The free falling of the golf club is a little tricky. Everybody has an intellect. Everybody knows the club has to go fast. How is free falling going to make the club go faster? See? We're going to let this golf club free fall twice, half swing. And on the first one, we're going to push off on the right leg, and we're going to turn the left hip slowly. And then on the second one, we're going to turn the left hip a little bit faster. And we'll see what that will do to the stick. Okay? So let's go one time with the lower body moving slowly, just a little half swing, okay? I'm going to push now we're gonna turn the left hip faster, and we're gonna see what that will do to the stick. What happened on the second one? What did the club do?
Fast.
It went fast. Which muscles made it go? If we want massive relaxation on top, do we?
Yes.
So what do we need to create here now? Massive what? Come on. Stress, tension, and torque. Millions of golfers, not on purpose, do this backwards. When we play golf, where's the tension? Upper back, neck, shoulders, arms, the hands, even the muscles of the face. And what do you suppose our hips and thighs are doing? Take a guess. Massive relaxation. Then every once in a while, a tragedy will strike. Once in a while, what do? When we hit a good shot with a bad swing, immediately when the ball is in flight, we're receiving an affirmation. Everybody get that? A little something going on in here. It's going to send a little information that says, do it again, do it again, do it again, even if it was wrong. You know what else tricks us? Our friends. When we hit a good shot with a bad swing, what do our friends do to us?
Great shot.
Crazy, good shot.
They applaud us, pat us on the back, and then tell us things like, nice swing, whatever you did, keep doing it, it worked. And then 30 years go by. When we hit a good shot with a bad swing, quickly turn to your friends and say, don't pay any attention to that. We just witnessed a miracle. All sports skills, the legs are everything. Before we do this last exercise for tonight, we're going to get your lower body power muscles in alignment, and immediately you're going to hit the ball quite a bit further. Now, before we do the exercise, who here tonight has been playing golf for a fairly long time? And if we play by the rules, no mulligans, who will probably shoot above 90? And we've been at this for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see the hands again. How long have you been playing, sir?
Off and on for about 20 years.
20 years. What's your first name?
John.
John's at this game for 20 years, and here's what we know about John. For 20 years, he has tried his absolute best on every shot for 20 years. Let's pretend 20 years ago, John decided he doesn't care about golf. He would love to learn to speak Spanish. He loves Spanish. It's 20 years later, and he doesn't know 2 words of it. What should he do?
I give up.
Not quit. Shame on you. He's here. Shouldn't John change his study habits? And don't take any more tips from this friend that you play golf with, because he'll try to help you. Did anybody, when we were in high school, play football or baseball? Did anybody do any of that? Let me see. Which sport did you do, sir?
Football.
What's your first name?
Jim.
Jim played football. It's Jim's high school days. It's right in the middle of football season. Where do we find him every day? Not once a week. Where was he every day after school?
Practice.
He went to practice every day. Why did you do that, Jim?
You're better.
No, because the coach said you better be there. Can I have your club for a minute, Jim? Can I have your club? Now, Jim, you're no longer on a football team, correct?
That's correct.
Please rise. We'll make it official. Here you go, Jim. Now you're on the golf team. Go ahead and sit down. Now, what does Jim need to do every day? Show up for dress rehearsal. It's his own house, but he's going to show up. What would happen if all of us now start to improve a little every week? What does that mean in time? Yeah, I get this stuff all the time. This was a fun one. Lady out of West Palm Beach, Florida, and she's not 20 years old either, okay? Nobody in West Palm Beach. She's been playing golf for a long, long time. She had those 2 fluky rounds in her whole life where she broke 90. And anyhow, she wanted to send me a little email. She just wanted to show the teacher, but it's her fault because she did it. She took pictures of her last 2 scorecards. See, she's a leg player now. She went from arm swinger to this right here, you see. And the back-to-back rounds of 77. Yeah, she played from the forward tees, but so what? She still had to hit the shots.
Yeah.
All sports skills, the legs are everything. Have you ever watched a ball game on TV and maybe you've noticed some ball players that are pretty good that are a little bow-legged?
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed some like Big Poppy that are a little knock-me? And then you have this other group. He just retired last year, Jeter, the Yankees.
Yeah.
Remember Derek Jeter? Well, when we watch him here in Fenway Park, he comes running out on the baseball diamond, his pigeon toe. Have you ever noticed pigeon toe ball players where their feet are going in instead of out? Have you ever noticed that? Who are some other pigeon toe ball players? Any names come to your mind? some of this class this afternoon got a lot of them. Dave Ruth, Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, these are all Pigeon Toe people. Football quarterbacks, he retired, John Elway, remember him? And our friend here, Tom Brady's Pigeon Toe, and so is Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees. He's a Pigeon Toe. Oh, yeah, you see Tom Brady and yeah. Tennis players, Andre Agassi, Chrissy Everett. Basketball players, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Yeah. Have you ever seen a great ball player run out on the field like this? No! Well, imagine that. We're going to do a strength test, and you're going to do this with your partner in just a minute. What's your first name, sir? Kevin, would you help me with this, please? Kevin and I are going to do a little strength test. Kevin, let's get you right about here. Face everybody this way, and get a little bit wider with your feet. I'd like you to take this foot and just toe it out a little bit more. There we go. Kevin, I'm going to take your left arm and I'm going to push your arm to that hip. Your job is to go up. So let's do a dry run. Ready, set, go. You go straight up all you got. Ready, set, go. You go straight up. Hang on one sec, Kevin. When you do this with your partner, be gentle. Don't hurt him. Just feel him. Does anybody know what a kinesiologist does? What's all that about? Joints, ligaments, muscles in motion. You got it. Golf is motion. If you're a right-handed player, the back foot is the right foot. If the right foot starts to toe out like a duck, you with me? This right hip here in the backswing can now turn back easy. Therefore, it won't go the other way. Is everybody clear on that? Okay, you ready, Kevin? Let's get wider with your feet. Toe your foot out a little bit more. There we go. Okay, Kevin, you're gonna go. When you do this with your partner, be gentle. Don't hurt him. You're not a lawyer, are you? Okay, Kevin, you go straight up. All you got. Ready, set, go. Now, Kevin here is fairly strong. Kevin, is that all you got? Yes. It's not much. You know why? Because all you got is that muscle right there. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put his lower body in alignment, and it's gonna change something real dramatically. Okay, let's get both feet straight ahead for right now, Kevin. Both toes straight. Okay, now start going a little bit wider. Just little by little, keep going, a little more, okay, less the hair, more hair, okay, good. Now don't move your right heel. I want you to bring this toe right here, right into my foot. Good. Now I'm gonna just square your hips a little, good. Now you're gonna go straight up again. Ready, set, go. Straight up. It's almost picking me up, okay, Kevin? When you get your partner, if you're a right-handed player, toe the right foot out, left arm up. Partner's going to push you down. Just feel him. Don't hurt him. Then we're going to take the back foot, toe in slightly, put the lower body power muscles in alignment, and see what happens to your partner. How many lefties do we have here today? Left-handed golfers? None? Okay, good. So you righties, again, you're going to be using your right foot with the first toe out in a very weak position. Partner's going to push you, just feel him. Then we're going to swing it in and see what happens to him. Get a partner, give it a go.
Rich.
Let's do it. Let's do it first. Let's just toe like this. Knock out. Put it out. Like a round. I want you to go up with it and down that way. Is that it? That's as far as you can go, right? Okay. What a difference. Huge difference. I'm big toed anyway, but alright, so like it like this, right? Yeah, this thing will be good. That's thick now. Well, never even thinking of it. Oh, me too. Oh, yeah. Sure.
That's all I got.
It's gonna be, it's all opposite. Yeah, it's good,
Yeah, I'd say it's I feel yeah, it should be, you know, depending on how strong somebody's here is where it's gonna feel, you know.
You're
If
saying,
somebody's really strong here, it can be quite
you're
dramatic.
saying not to keep it out, you're saying to keep it in. When you hit the wall.
Basically, he's saying turn this leg in.
Right, nice to see everybody, let's have a fast review. Where that came from was Ben Hogan's book, I just took it another step.
You keep it in.
Hogan's,
You want
yeah,
it in.
yeah, Hogan's book, he'd hit some balls with his right foot out. And then he started bringing his foot in like this, and the more he brought his foot in, the further the ball went.
Really?
But he stopped his testing when the back foot was straight ahead.
Yeah.
I noticed big home run hitters, Mark McGuire, you know, because baseball and golf almost identical. The big bomb home runs, the big ones, upper deck, they're towed in. Okay, yeah, even remember Nomar and yeah, they were all pigeon toe people here in the Red Sox. Anyway,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's have a fast review. 4 keys from class today will help us now, provided we apply them. The first one, are we going, you laughed about this one. Are we going to watch our friends anymore?
No.
Well, what about the ball? Can you watch their ball?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let me paint you a picture. Positive, negative, now wait. 2 gentlemen are playing golf, and the first guy hit it in the lake. Just before he hit it in the lake, what did he ask his friend to do? Be a witness. Now the friend unknowingly responds, I'll watch your ball so you can keep your head down this time. You've been lifting your head all day. Now keep your head down, I'll watch it. Go ahead. You went in. I'll have to drop down there. I watched it go in the lake. I watched it. Guess where player number 2 is likely going? You know what comes out of the mouth of the second player? I had a feeling this was coming. We have negativity of our own. What do we need everyone else's? They might not need ours. Now, all I do here is, we did an exercise tonight to get all the tension out of the upper body quickly, so let's go on that one too right away. All I do here really is I make a few gentle suggestions. I know something about golfers. I make suggestions, then you're gonna do whatever you want anyway, right?
Yeah.
Especially the men, right, fellas? Fellas, if you handed me $14 and hired me as your skydiving teacher, I'd give you a suggestion. Would you take it? Let's open the parachute. Would do it. This is golf, and many of us